South Africa here, already one match, lost by 52 points to 6 on Sunday at Keighley. South Africa's second meeting with Australia way back in 1963. They had a 14-match tour, and Australia there. Brett Dallas, no stranger to the Northeast. They played here against the under-21s last season and won by 54-10. And a tremendous welcome for these World Cup teams as they make their way to the presentations. A big, daunting task ahead of these boys in South Africa. Williams, Fourie, Jaco van Niekerk, Jaco Boysens, the captain, had a good game on Sunday, but a tremendous task for the newcomers against the world champions. And the presentations to the guests, Mr. Brian Slynn, the assistant manager of the Halifax Building Society, Councillor Norman Lakey, the chairman of the Leisure Services from Gateshead, and the president, South Africa, Hockey Oosthuizen. South Africa found wanting in fitness last Sunday against Fiji, but perfect night for running rugby, and who needs floodlights with a full moon like that? Any full-back should be able to see the ball there, Steve.
Well, I think both fullbacks will probably be tested a little bit tonight with a high ball, but it's going to be a good game tonight. South Africa coming off a loss against Fiji the other night, but they're going to come out there and give it all tonight.
Introducing Councillor Norman Lakey, Chair of Leisure Services, Gateshead, NBC.
Pierre van Wyk, 3 good goal kicks. The Jaco Boysens, good, strong, hard-running game from him. Mr. Brian Slynn, the area manager for the Newcastle Halifax Building Society, and being introduced by Hockey Oosthuizen and Councillor Norman Lakey, chairman of the Leisure Services here at Gateshead, who do so much for Rugby League. Gateshead just started an academy side who played earlier and entertained the crowd. A nervous time for those South African lads, Steve.
It is. They know that tonight's going to be a lot harder than it was against Fiji. The Australians coming off a loss against England, and you don't want to play a top team like them coming off a loss.
And Paul Harrigan, the captain for the first time. William Moore, Andrew Johns, the 2 Johns brothers, of course, in the side. Aaron Raper, well, remember his father in the '68 World Cup competition. Paul McGregor, big, tall, strong centre. The new wing sensation down under, Brett Dallas. And the 4 substitutes, attired rather like boxers. Referee Russell Smith, and once again 2 touch judges and the 2 in-goal judges, Messrs Randerson, Nathan, Brown and Hewitt. The crowd's just awaiting the 2 national anthems. Nkosi Sikalali, Africa.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please be upstanding for the national anthems?
Advance Australia firm. Presentation ceremony is over. Always a nervous occasion, always an occasion greeted with anticipation for those teams. The Australian team coach Bobby Fulton takes the opportunity to rest the bulk of his squad from Wembley and gives a run out to some others. Perhaps there are places in doubt, and I think hooker Aaron Raper and prop Adam Muir will be looking for big games. And at half-back, he pairs the two Johns brothers, Matthew and Andrew. They were the inspiration behind Newcastle Knights' outstanding form this season. The South African team, well, one interesting tactical switch from the team that lost to Fiji. Francois Klute moves from standoff to hooker. An attempt, I think, to put some more speed in that pack. There's plenty of pace on the wings, but I'm sure coach Tony Fisher has told Barend Alkmaar he wants the ball out there and well away from that powerful Aussie pack. 4 from the Australian Wembley team against England on their bench, and an interesting selection for South Africa, Nico. Jaco Boysens, the Rhinos captain, will have the experience of playing against the Australian captain and renowned test prop, Paul Harrigan. It will be of immense benefit, I think, to Boysens and to South Africa's development. It's a learning process, and no one to learn better from than that man Harrigan. He's taking a big risk tonight. It's his first ever captaincy of Australia, but he does have a hairline fracture of the cheekbone, and he's taking a big gamble. Never takes a backward step. Referee, Russell Smith, a former player himself with England schools. Good experience to Challenge Cup finals and a test series between New Zealand and Australia. Quite a disciplinarian, Paul Harrigan, and there we can see that bruising there around the cheek and the eye. It really is a big gamble, Steve.
It is. Paul, he's a tough lad, Paul, but going out there with a fractured cheekbone, he's taking a big risk, and we're just going to have to see how it goes in the first 5 or 10 minutes. I'm sure that the South Africans will certainly test him out.
Harrigan just limbering up, ready for the action. Good crowd assembled here for this Group 1 game. Australia, the world champions, and one of the most recent recruits to rugby league, South Africa. Rod Wishart there on the bench. And it will be Pierre van Wyk, the former Stellenbosch under-21 lad, to kick off. And he keeps the ball low, picked up by Robbie O'Davis, flicked inside to Adam Muir. Muir making a bid, I think, for the front row position. Billy Moore from North Sydney, get placed for Queensland. Australia starting off at a good pace. I would think they would probably try to overwhelm South Africa very, very early on.
They will. It's going to be important for South Africa to stay in this for the first 20 minutes, because if Australia start going on the rampage, it could be any sort of score.
Good tackle there anyway from Gerald Williams of South Africa. But Australia moving it wide, trying to outflank this South African side. Matthew Johns there from the Hunter Valley, the Vintage Wines area. And brother Andrew putting a monstrously high kick up. Oh, missed by Van Wyk. Picked up by Australia. Moved now from right to left. That's a good pass, lobbed over the top. Picked up by Paul McGregor. It's a try already. The movement of the ball out wide, simply too fast and too clever for the South Africans. And Paul McGregor, the centre, in for the opening try. Australia 4, South Africa 0, and they look to be in for a hard night.
Like we talked about before, they're going to test him with a high bomb. They've done that, he couldn't take it. Aaron Raper just goes to the ground, gets up, quick play the ball. Now they're going to spread it here, Australia. Good work from Kossoff there. He's seen that they were stretched out wide. Paul McGregor unmarked and scores a good try.
Yes, Australia here, 2 long passes in midfield, then the overhead pass. Plucked there from Paul McGregor, the Illawarra Steelers, big, powerful centre. An easy run-in. And the kick from Andrew Johns. 2 tests against New Zealand. Prolific point scorer for Newcastle Knights this season. And 2 points. So Australia easing out to 6 points to 0.
You'll have a look here. Nick Kosef, he's seen that they were stretched in their defence, and then a good pass from Johns there, found McGregor, and that's not the start that South Africa needed there. They needed to hold in there for a little while.
South Africa playing a very tight bunch defence in midfield, Steve.
Well, they've done that against Fiji, and Fiji kept going the outside of them. We spoke in that game that they've got to be spread more. They're too bunched in the middle of the field, South Africa.
So it's Australia in possession. Nicholas Kosef losing the ball, but it goes behind him. Retrieved. Oh, good play from young Andrew Johns there. Well picked up by Jason Smith. And South Africa yet to touch the ball. Still making good ground with the forwards. Adam Muir. Knock on. Well spotted by Mr. Smith.
You'll have a look. Adam Muir a little bit too excited here. He tries to push a pass that wasn't on there, and the ball goes to ground.
First scrum, first chance of the ball. Oh, well picked up on the blind side. Good play by South Africa. Good, strong driving run there by Mark Johnson. South Africa driving in, but they're meeting a fierce defence. Good short pass. Wilhelm Boshoff from Northern Transvaal, signed with Dewsbury. That was a problem for South Africa in their opening game against Fiji. Losing possession. Got to keep hold of it, especially against the Australians. Gerald Williams driving in there. He's got the ball away to Guy Coombe. Good attack here from the Rhinos. Van Wyk. And that is a testing kick. Just on the line. But that's the difference. Robbie O'Davis, he's not the biggest of fullbacks, but didn't he take that superbly? What a difference between the South African take earlier on and that one.
He done well, Robbie O'Davis, and he had a lot of pressure on him. The defenders were coming through, and he done very well there.
So, Australia still moving it around. Paul McGregor driving in. Oh, and it's the big prop forward, Harrigan, but a good tackle again. The ball bumped to ground. And once again, Australia using that favourite ploy of punishing sides, keeping them penned down here in the corners. Van Wyk just holding himself up. And that's good play there from Mark Johnson, the wing, helping his men out.
It is, that's the way he played the other night because the ball wasn't getting out to him. But Mark Johnson's one of the key players in the South African team, and he'll have to inject himself as much as he can.
Good strong run there from Gideon Watts. And again, South Africa using their forwards. Good, strong driving runs, coached by a former Great Britain forward, Tony Fisher. Van Wyk. Davis. Robbie O'Davis, another one of the Newcastle Knights players. No, Newcastle now coached by Mal Reilly, former British coach. Billy Moore. Just can't get away, loses the ball. Picked up very, very well by South Africa. The crowd beginning to get behind the Rhinos. They sense the underdogs. They want to help them. Offside. Good decision there from Mr. Smith. The Australian defence encroaching up on the outside there. And Van Wyk with the kick. Just switched to league about 12 months ago, and I think this is South Africa's problem, isn't it, Steve? They've so many recent recruits from South African Rugby Union. They've just not quite adjusted to the pace at professional level yet, have they?
They haven't. That's where they're struggling. But what they have to do now is they have to have a good set of six, give themselves a little bit of confidence. You know, they use the 6 tackles, they may score against Australia here.
And certainly there is no better forward who runs straight and direct than that man there, number 10, Jaco Boysen,
I had
the
a super
captain.
game against Fiji. He was their best player against Fiji.
Yep. And these big South African forwards are testing Australia here. Watts back to Boysen. Oh, that's the problem. Tim Forey losing the ball.
It all started from the dummy half then. The hooker there, Klutner, you see, they just took his time. It was a bad pass. He looped it up, and they've dropped the ball. He had no chance of that football, but they need to just settle down a little bit more. They're trying to panic and rush the passes.
In fact, Steve, I think Coach Tony Fisher has problems there. His original selection for the first game was Pierre Grobelaar. He's injured. He used another hooker, you know, earlier this week, and this is the third one.
Yeah, it is. That's a problem for him, the depth that he has in his squad.
So, Australia back in possession in the shape of Adam Muir. And Andrew Johns moving it well with brother Matthew. Oh, and that's superb down the far side there, Danny Moore. And it's Hopoate racing in for the second try. A try. Well, he's not too hurt. A little bit of a hurdling practice. The big, powerful Tongan wing. 20 tries in the Australian League last year. Second to teammate at Manly, Steve Menzies.
You'll see here, there's a great long ball there from Johns. He found his brother Matthew Johns and Danny Moore. No one out, the defence was bunched again. They're too tight there. They've got to spread out more. And Danny Moore just offloads to Hopoate, who scores the easiest of tries.
I mean, this was the problem, wasn't it? I mean, here is the big, tall centre, Danny Moore. He's striding away. Look at the men in chase. They've all been bunched in the middle. And really, Hopoate has a good, easy run in.
One thing about it so far, Ray, the Australians have thrown the ball out wide and early in this game more than they did against England last Saturday. I don't know if it's that they're soon to change their plan for this game, but they certainly had more ball movement.
I think, quite honestly, I think one or two of them have watched a video of South Africa's game against Fiji, because, I mean, Fiji did the same thing and scored 10 tries, mostly down the flanks.
Yeah, they did.
So, Andrew Johns, only in his second season in Australian Premiership Rugby. And with kicks like that, I should think he will play for many, many more seasons to come. A grin on his face. 12-0 already, 10 minutes gone. The Masters, Australia, showing just why they are the world champions with tries like this. It's the pass from Johns, long, accurate. Moore steams onto the bottom. Just look at those three defenders there, all bunched in. The pass beats the three. It's a straight run in for Hopoate when he receives the ball. But these South Africans, they never stop covering, do they, Steve?
No, they never give up. They always chase. You see in there that after they made the break, there were still 3 defenders turning around to chase the Australians.
Kosef getting the ball moving.
Just so inexperienced. The referee was back 10 metres and they were back 14 metres. They were 4 yards back further than the referee.
Johnson again. Oh, good pass. But good tackle there by Bossoff on McGregor. Stopped the damage.
Have a look here. Another good pass from Matthew Johns. Finds Paul McGregor, makes the half break, and then tries to still offload in the tackle, and South Africa come up with a loose ball.
As Steve said earlier, South Africa have really got to play through these 6 tackles. They've got to hold the ball. Offside again. against Australia. And Boyson's encouraging his forwards there. He needs a lot of work out of them. Andrew Johns already settled in well to the game. I'm really impressed early stage with these two Johns brothers, Steve. It's first time I've seen them in the flesh.
Well, what's happening, Ray, is they've played together for a long time. They both played at Newcastle, and Australia last Saturday seemed to lack that cohesion, playing with their 7 and their 6. Never played with each other before.
Need I say more? Boyson's again. The South African captain always seems to be there at first receiver. Short pass to Gerald Williams, Durban Sharks, and actually played for Wales at Rugby Union as an under-19. A switch. South Africa, look, oh, shadowing. Cobus van Deventer running behind the back of a teammate, shadowing, and a penalty.
You'll have a look here. He runs around there, runs around 2 players, and there was a definite obstruction there.
Australia's second meeting with South Africa. First one way back in 1963. They won that one by 49 points to 5. Number 17 there, just limbering up, Mark Carroll. Oh, and that's good ball again. Brett Dallas can't get away. But that was good play by Australia, and they'll spin it wide now. It's that man Johns again. Flicks it to Raper. Raper back inside to Robbie O'Davis. O'Davis to Billy Moore. But good tackling by South Africa. Still switching it. Johns again. Oh, good ball, but that's a bad one. Andrew Johns at the centre of all the operations here. He's the man who's making these Australians tick. It'll be head and ball to South Africa. One pass too many. Guy Kumbi coming in. And Gerald Williams again. No lack of energy or effort from these big South African forwards. I mean, I would say in a couple of years' time, there'll be some good lads here.
There is some good lads there, and it's only inexperience at the moment, but they're certainly willing. They just keep coming forward with the football all the time, and they keep coming forward with their defending.
Head high tackle there by Billy Moore. And Vike with a relieving kick, plays for the Eastern Reds out there in South Africa. When one realises that in South Africa Rugby League is a summer game as opposed to the Rugby Union in the winter, that they only have about 500 to 600 players from which to choose, they've certainly done very well. Just 15 minutes gone in this first half. Scoreline 12 points to 0 for Australia. But South Africa on the attack. Bossoff. Very big, strong, powerful North Transvaal player. Switch from Williams. Van Deventer. Little well read by Robbie Davis. It was well intended. Good play by the South African scrum half there, Van Deventer. But well read by him. And here Australia again, ripping out. It's that man, Paul McGregor. Can't get the ball away. And a let-off. Van Wyk coming through now. Oh, this is superb play from the fullback. Good tackle by Adam Muir, but South Africa going for the line. Tremendous hit back here. Andrew Ballot. South Africa on the attack. Gerald Williams driving in. Kurt Heeman. 4 metres from the line. Wanting a very quick play the ball. Australia's defence holding strong at the moment. Back to Johnson. Johnson beats his man. Oh, he can't get in at the corner. Still Australia putting pressure on the green and golds. Boysons meets a brick wall on the 5th tackle. A tremendous set of 6 here from the Rhinos. Surely they deserve a point, but no. Alkema realising the kick was too powerful. But a generous round of applause there for the South Africans, Steve. That was good rugby. That
was good rugby. You tell the rugby union that was coming out when Williams offloaded to Human there. The turn around and just a little offload.
Mark Carroll coming on the field as a substitute. And ominously enough, we understand it's for Paul Harrigan. Oh, good pass. That's a pass. Dallas. But that wasn't. And South Africa gratefully received the final pass from Australia. Well, they've given offside. Mr. Smith's given offside there. I thought a little bit unfortunate. Australia moved the ball out wide. And I was just about to say, Steve, the final pass from Australia is really going astray.
It is. They're standing too flat. They've got to get a little bit deeper. But Brett Dallas, firstly on this side, had 2 men inside him and couldn't get a good pass away to either of them. And then on the other side there, Danny Moore also is offloaded to nobody there. The winger there on the outside, Hopoate, he's just not deep enough. He has to stand deeper. He's too flat there.
And I think that's rather ominous, Steve. We've been playing 18 minutes and Paul Harrigan, the captain, with that fractured cheekbone, he's off the field.
Yeah, it was a brave effort to try, but if you've got a broken cheekbone, you shouldn't be playing this game. It takes time to heal that.
South Africa. Oh, that's a bad mistake. Carroll driving in towards that line. Big, powerful forward, test forward, takes some stopping. Australia now, oh, they've got a lot of players out wide here. Johns cutting through, good defence. Just a metre from the South African line. Oh, yes, Kosef for Australia. Nicholas Kosef, his first try in international rugby. Had an excellent season with Manly this year. But the pressure on South Africa, and they just couldn't take it.
You'll have a look here. It was a great run earlier from Mark Carroll. Now, Andrew Johns, he could have passed it there because he had 3 or 4 players overlap, but he decided to go himself. A quick play of the ball, and Nick Kosef goes over for the easiest of tries.
And it all came, you know, Steve, from a mistake where South Africa had possession, just lost the ball. Kosef spots the gap, and he's in.
Yeah, they just need to try to control that ball a little bit better. Keep the ball away from the Australians.
Andrew Johns certainly had a big impact on this game so far. 2 goals from 2 attempts, but more impressive, his midfield distribution. I think he will push Jeff Tuvey all the way for the test spot. Johns. Good kick. No problem, straight between the uprights. The grin again that tells everyone it was 2 points. And Australia moving out further, 18 points to 0, just less than a point a minute at the moment.
You'll have a look here. There's Kosef, little dummy, step off the left foot and just dives over for an easy try. When they need to be tight, Ray, around that close to the line, they were spread in the middle of the field. When they need to be wide, they're bunched.
I mean, any side on the line, Steve, would have a couple of men either side very, very close to that acting half-back. Look at the territorial advantage there as well, Steve.
So it's all Australia's way at the moment.
Australia moving it out wide. Good pass there, out once again to this. Oh, and a beautiful flick pass inside to Brett Dallas. And Johns goes in. Just too quick, just too clever, out wide here. The class of the world champions. It was the passing out there, and it was that man, Paul McGregor, who put Andrew Johns in. He launched Dallas down the wing. And Johns having a big say in this game.
Good ball movement again from the Johns brothers. Good pass out there to Paul McGregor. Little step, plenty of power, strength. He can stand up, he offloaded in the tackle. Brett Dallas this time made sure that the pass stuck, and Andrew Johns scores a good try.
I think one of the problems here, though, Steve, given good play in midfield, given a powerful, strong run, it's when Brett Dallas has the ball. Just look where Mark Johnson is. He's come in, he's left his wingman.
Yeah, he come in to commit himself to Paul McGregor, and McGregor committed the two players, offloaded to Brett Dallas in an open space.
That man, Johns again. Not the easiest of kicks, 8 metres in. Just wide of the upright. So his first miss of the evening keeps the score at 22 points to 0.
You'll see here, good hands, Andrew Johns, the Matthew Johns, back to Andrew Johns, out to Paul McGregor. Now here he gets Mark Johnson, comes infield now, leaves his man in Brett Dallas. Brett Dallas looks carefully this time, makes sure that the pass sticks, and Andrew Johns is over for a try.
Well picked up there by Billy Moore. Again, another impressive forward from North Sydney, good footballer. And I think it's actually half-back here. Aaron Raper is really doing a good job.
He looks a lot sharper than around that area than Wayne Bartram did on Saturday, and that's an area that Australia need to pick up on.
There he is, Raper, with that sleight of hand. And doesn't he look like his father? Number 15, Eugene Powell, coming on. South Africa. Raper again to Kosef. Well held by Bossoff. And just look at the length of that pass by Andrew Johns to brother Matthew. Australia again using that ball out wide. It's Kosef again, looking for the dummy, puts it inside. He does. Back to Paul McGregor. And it's down this right wing where all the problems are coming. It's down this right wing where South Africa have got huge gaps, really troubling them. But it's the length of those passes between the Johns brothers in midfield that's growing in the South African defence. And then when he goes out wide, Steve, there's nobody there.
Yeah, it's a good pass from Mark Carroll to Andrew Johns. Good one out to Nick Kossoff again. Looks inside, finds Paul McGregor supporting and scores a try. There's some great ball movement there.
Here we see the first two passes. Now then, this is the one. Just look at the flight of that ball, the length of that ball. The dummy from Kosef, and McGregor's there.
Play earlier, 2 plays before that, Ray, he threw a pass that went about 60 metres from one side to the other and found his brother, and that's the name of the game. These two Johns brothers certainly play good together.
And it's not only the half-back combination, Steve, but it's having the forwards to run on the ball at the right time, coming from depth, which is what they have. That's a good kick, it looks good, oh yes, true and accurate from Johns. The grin goes ever wider. I think it will be all over his face by the time that 80 minutes are up here. 28-0, 26 minutes gone.
You'll see here, Mark Carroll first get the ball. Now the big front rower sees that it's on out wide, passes to Andrew Johns. Andrew Johns cuts out 2 players to Nick Kossoff. He looks inside, finds Paul McGregor, and he's over.
South Africa trying to stem the tide with substitutions. Eugene Powell for Koot Heeman.
You can see there, Ray, Mark Johnson, he's in near the goalpost of defence there. He's got to be out wider than that.
Australia relentlessly moving upfield, using the forwards. Adam Muir looks for support, finally gets it away, and there is Raper again, gets it out to Brett Dallas. Dallas from the Sydney Bulldogs. And again, Johns, the long pass to Matthew, that's even better. Oh, it's Danny Moore racing down the side there, and Danny Moore is in. These two big, tall, powerful centres are having a field day. Surely South Africa must realise what is going on. Surely someone must say, look, let's get out wide there, lads. Because if they don't, we're in for some record scores tonight. 32-0 for Australia.
Once again, you're going to see here some great passing. What good passing game Andrew Johns has got. Now look at this, passes the ball, cuts it out there to his brother Matthew Johns. He finds Danny Moore running onto the ball at pace, and there's only the try line in front of him, runs around the fullback, and Danny Moore scores. But the ball hasn't gone through the two Johns brothers' hands quick.
But without wishing to sort of criticise the South Africans too much, any youngsters watching this will see the length of those passes. Now look at the wingman there, 2 and 3. They've been drawn in, and really, he has no need to pass to the wingman. It's a try all the way for Danny Moore.
We have to be fair to the South Africans. You see Danny Moore, a lot of power in that there. He's going around to score the try. But the thing is, this team could probably do it to most teams, Ray, and they're still battling on. They're not going to throw the towel in, and the way they're playing Australia, the South Africans just got to keep hanging in there.
And I must say, Steve, I know that it's a different opposition, South Africa and England to Australia, but I do think these two half-backs are making a world of difference.
They are, and so is the number 9 spot, the hook, Aaron Raper. The ball's getting out from the play-the-ball area much quicker.
South Africa then, vainly hanging in here, looking for defence. Eugene Powell in the tackle. Again, switch down that side to Kosef. Kosef shrugs off the tackler. He's racing through. He's got Hopoate with him, and Hopoate roars in there. Is there any end to the talents of the world champions? Well, the youngsters are enjoying the tries. I don't think South Africa are, but John Hopoate having a better day than he did at Wembley against England on Saturday. 38-0 already for Australia.
You'll have a look here, Nick Kossoff. Now, good right arm fend. He meets the man there. Now, he has a look. He sees Hopoate who come infield, and he gets the ball off Kossoff and scores a good try.
Here we see the youngster, Kossoff, rushing through, carrying the ball in one hand. Look at the vision on him. He was looking for Hopoate. He beckoned to him to come inside, and he did. That was good loose forward play. You
can actually see him call him inside, Ray. He said he knew he was going to take the fullback out, and he called him in.
There was an understanding there. Didn't need a word said, Steve, just an understanding.
Yeah.
Andrew Johns. Oh, and another good kick. Tremendous effort. Andrew Johns. The ball right between the posts.
Just have a look here, Kossoff, good right hand fend there. Now there he's looking for Hopoate to come infield. There's plenty of support, and as we said before, the South Africans are still chasing there.
Jim Dimmock having his first touch of the ball, 15. Substitute. And again, those spin passes moving out. Oh, and it's Matthew Johns this time, racing in, again, looking for support. He finds it. Oh, and striding through is Aaron Raper. Aaron Raper, superb try. That's good running from the from the hooker. Good support play. The Cronulla striker. And South Africa in real trouble here at Gateshead tonight.
Once again, Andrew Johns, a good pass out to Matthew. Now he sees the hole, goes himself. They nearly got him there, but he still kept his balance. Now this is great backing up here. Firstly from Billy Moore, and then Aaron Raper straight up the middle. It scores right next to the uprights.
Well, I'm afraid Mr. Raper brings back awful memories for me. His father ran just like that and scored against the team I played in, Steve, at the cricket ground.
He's a great player, Johnny Raper.
Johns then with 6 from 7 attempts. And there is the 7th from 8 attempts. Hawk to 6-0. Only 32 minutes gone, and one begins to wonder just what the score will be with speed and handling just like this. Here we see now the ball flicked inside. Raper knows he can go himself. He has the speed that one normally doesn't see from hookers. And South Africa simply have got to hang in there here. They've got to put a good tackling stint in as Jim Dimmock gets the ball there, the substitute. He wants a run. Moves forward in the match at Wembley. Australia relentless, not letting South Africa off the hook. And Rob Andrew, the Rugby Union's highest paid player now at the new Newcastle club. I wonder has he been giving lessons to Andrew Johns. And alongside him, Sir John Hall, the man behind the new Newcastle Rugby Club. And also, let's not forget that Mr. Hall has an application in for the Newcastle club to join the Super League in '97. I wonder, do you think, is Rob Andrew having a look at one or two players, Steve?
Well, he may well do, but I don't know whether any of these players will be wanting to change the rugby union.
South Africa now just need to settle down, need to, I think, keep it among the forwards, just put a little bit of pressure on South Africa, let them know that they are coming back in the game. The Rhinos on the charge. Gideon Watts, good drive from him, looking for the first try of the tournament. Van Deerventer edging nearer, 5 metres from that Australian line, using the long pass. Oh, nice little dip inside from Alkema. Just can't get there, but once again, Steve, that old fault, losing the ball.
Well, very unlucky there, South Africa. I thought he got through for a minute. We're going to score under the post, and it would have been great if they had been able to score a try.
Andrew Johns. Aussie coach Bobby Fulton will be paying particular attention to this match. He's given chances for all these players, all well picked up, well taken there by Francois Cloutier. A good run back. And here, determination once again from the South African pack. Bobby Fulton made quite a lot of the defeat at Wembley. He attributed much of it to the fact that many of these Australian players had not played for 5 or 6 weeks, that they needed a run. Well, they're certainly getting a run tonight, Steve, aren't they?
They are. They've been training for a long time. A lot of these players haven't played for a while either, but it's a bit different tonight. The first team that played on Saturday played against England, and they did struggle. As Bob Fulton.
Bobby Fulton, kangaroo coach for the past 6 years, and a great player in his own right. Australia's head and ball. Bobby Fulton very rarely smiles, very rarely gives anything away, but a very wise, canny Australian coach. looking for a move, set to move from the Robbie O'Davis. Oh, sweeping in, blistering pace. Timed his run to perfection. He does play occasionally on the wing back home there at Newcastle Knights, and that was the speed of a wingman coming in from the full-back position, and the half-century is cracked.
It was a set play here from Australia. They had the decoy runner coming inside, Brett Dallas. They had Robbie O'Davis sweeping around the outside, gets the ball in a hole, and with his great pace scores a good try.
Yep, he really does run. He sets off, holds the ball in that one hand, but his eyes never taken from that try line. No one can get near him. Robbie O'Davis. The boy from the Hunter Valley and the Newcastle Knights club there in New South Wales. South Africans very tired, possibly waiting for the half-time hooter as yet another 2 points added to the scoreboard. Superb exhibition of kicking by the Australian. 52-0, 2 minutes remaining.
You'll have a look at here. Brett Dallas, decoy runner inside. Robbie O'Davis sweeps around the outside of the centres there, joins in and finds a hole. They chase well still, South Africa. They're still chasing him, but it's just too quick.
Yep. It is interesting that every time an Australian scores, there is a South African within a yard of him, Steve.
They're not giving up. They haven't got the pace of the Australians, but they're definitely not giving up.
Paul McGregor. I mean, many of them really are up against it here, but in reflection, in a few weeks' time, they'll look back on this as an exhibition and a lesson.
Well, it will be. It's all learning experience for them. They're playing against some of the best players in the world here.
There is one, Hopoate. Again, the Johns brothers setting up the movement for Brett Dallas. Dallas, oh, he's not the biggest of wingmen, but he's certainly a tough little nut. Johns, Andrew to Matthew, slips inside to Hopoate. Well, that was obstruction on Boyson. Little bit of a problem between Boyson and Jim Dimmock. No need for it at all. Boyson was obstructed, and Mr. Dimmock had no need to enter into the fray there. Childish reaction, sorted out very quickly by Mr. Smith.
You see inside ball there to Jimmy Dimmock. Now the pass was knocked down by Boyson there. Jimmy Dimmock's pulled him back, and Boyson's taken to exception to that and has swung a little bit of a punch there.
And obviously I think there was a little something said. Mr. Smith telling them both, calm it down. Here we see, no doubt about it, out of order. The offence, holding back, obstruction. And they eye each other up. A little bit like boxers before the fight. No need for it. Silly and childish. Head and ball, scrum down to South Africa. The offence not being given. Mr. Smith had blown up for the forward pass. And South Africa coming away with the ball. Tim Fourie trying to come away there. The hooter goes, and I'm sure that will be welcome relief and respite for South Africa. On the end of 52 points in that first half. 9 tries to the Kangaroos and 8 goals to Andrew Johns there. A magnificent performance.
That was a good half. South Africa, they're struggling a little bit, but the Australians are out there to prove a point. They got beat on Saturday, and all these players, they're hoping that they're going to have some chance of playing for Australia when if they get to the semi-finals.
Well, this is the problem. This is not just any game for Australia, is it? Having been beaten by England at Wembley, there are places up for grabs if a semi-final place is there.
Well, they know that. Every Australian player over here knows that. No position is guaranteed to anybody, and I'm sure Bobby Fulton on the day is going to pick the form players for that team.
And of course, conditions are absolutely ideal for the type of running rugby that Australia are playing.
Yeah, you know, this Australian team can play all sorts. Last Saturday they played the tight game up the middle. Today they're playing the open game where they're standing wide. And these two Johns brothers, their passing game is absolutely superb.
Do you think Australia are consciously playing the open game as distinct from the one that really well cost them the game last week?
Yeah, I think they are. I think both teams probably last Saturday were a little bit nervous, England and Australia, for the opening match. But the Australians certainly learnt by that. They know they've got to get in the outside. And if they'd seen South Africa play against Fiji the other day, they would have known their defence was tight and would have gotten the outside.
And we can just see the pressure that South Africa have been under there. You know, 27% only in that Australian half. It really has been difficult.
Exactly right, Territory. But in possession-wise, there's not so much difference in possession, but South Africa is still throwing them little bad passes and drop balls.
It's what you do with possession. If we look at that Australia 13 minutes, that possession has often been held near their own line, but they've swept away in 80-90 metre runs. South Africa's possession has been amongst the forward, short little passes, not really come off.
No, they haven't. They have shown some good signs. There's a couple of times they nearly scored against Australia, and I think that would have lifted them also if they had scored 1 or 2 tries.
But at least all credit to South Africa. They're pitching in there, and they have put pressure on Australia.
They're not giving the game away, the South Africans. We've seen there when every time they scored a try, Australia scored a try, there was always at least 1, 2, maybe 3 South Africans chasing them all the time.
Well, there's no doubt about it. A good crowd here at Gateshead International Stadium, enjoying this up here in the northeast. Not a traditional home for rugby league, although there are many amateur sides around here. The Gateshead Amateurs, the Gateshead Panthers, and I'm sure those spectators delighted by Australia's performance and the grit and courage of South Africa.
Come on, away.
Welcome back to the Gateshead International Stadium. Everyone anticipating, I think, one or two records from this Australian side, Steve.
Yeah, I think they're going to go. Young Andrew Johns, he's already chalked up 20 points, the record being 30 set by Michael O'Connor.
Yeah, one or two others. So I think let's not mention too many. Welcome back to the Gateshead International Stadium. Everyone anticipating, I think, one or two records from this Australian side, Steve.
Yeah, I think they're going to go. Young Andrew Johns, he's already chalked up 20 points, the record being 30 set by Michael O'Connor.
Yeah, one or two others. Well, let's not mention too many. Let's give some heart to South Africa. They've played hard, they've worked hard, but here we have a World Championship team, and not only that, but I would say 7 or 8 players in this side who sensed that there were positions up for grabs at the semi-final stage.
That's what they're playing for. They're playing for their country, and they're playing for that little dream that they know they could get to Wembley.
Well, and I think that dream is on, but here is a dream for South Africa, the dream to get to the World Cup, the dream to play against world champions like these. Let's not forget that it was only 5 years ago that the South African Rugby League was revived. It's taken a lot of work, it's taken a lot of effort, and it's proving quite successful out there. And one hopes that they're not too disappointed by the points being inflicted upon them, but rather look upon it as a learning curve. Pierre van Wyk there, the hard-working forwards, Gerald Williams and Kurt Heeman, Tim Fourie, all putting in the effort, but just lacking the experience and the know-how to cope with world-class players like these. But the crowd, and a big crowd here at Gateshead, enjoying this rugby spectacular, and enjoying especially the display of that man, Andrew Johns. The players waiting for the arrival of Mr. Smith. And there is Mr. Smith just acknowledging that the hooter works. No changes in the Australian side. Guy Kumbi of the Durban Sharks, a teacher there in Natal, not had too much ball in his hands today. Oh, that's a good run. That hooker again there, Francois Cloete. South Africa starting with considerable spirit, and Cloete again. He's troubled the Australians, this hooker, once or twice at the acting half-back.
He has, he's made a lot of ground, and he's run strong. Also, when Australia made a break and put a kick down before, he got back to cover it.
A strong tackle there, but Tim Fourie was not too concerned. And that's a good kick. That's a testing kick for Robbie O'Davies. He had to move across wide there, and that's good support play from South Africa. Good kick, 4 or 5 men up in support, containing Australia here. Billy Moore. But these big forwards driving in relentlessly and evading the clutches of Gerald Williams. Paul Harrigan on the bench, enjoying himself. But you can still see the damage around that eye, Steve.
Yeah, that's why he's come off. It's a reoccurrence of the injury that he done last Saturday, and he was brave out there. Never something, he didn't have to prove anything to anybody, and he actually shouldn't have played.
Jason Smith taking his time, getting up. And Johns putting a towering pressure kick there on well, Van Deventer, either by good luck or good sense, caught the ball. Jason Smith got a problem. He got up rather slowly. He's had trouble with that right knee. Offside, surely. I can't see the point in keeping Jason Smith on the field if he is in trouble.
No, there's not, but I'm not sure how many replacements have actually had at this moment at Australia. You'll see here, Paul McGregor was a mile offside there. Russell Smith spotted it, then South Africa get the penalty.
But Steve, even with 12 men, I don't think it would make too much difference.
No, that's true. You're right there, Ray.
South Africa using the ball well down the short side. Van Deventer coming very, very strong. He runs strongly, does the scrum. And here's one man who runs strongly. Gerald Williams from Durban. Plenty of heart in this South African side. Good distribution again from Cloete. And good support play there from Gideon Watts. South Africa looking for the first try. Good inside to Jaco Boysons, just couldn't get through. Well tackled by Aaron Raper. But in sight of the goalposts. Kluter again, out wide to Van Deventer. Can't make it.
Alkema and Boyson, they're both good players and they're certainly holding this South Africa team together.
And South Africa holding the Australians in this second half. Australia leading by 52 points to 0. 9 tries, 8 goals. Jimmy Dinner. Again, another Tongan qualified player. Paul McGregor. Not going anywhere though. This is a good tackling stint from South Africa's team.
It is. They've come out in the second half. They had a little bit of a rest and they're taking it to the Australians.
Kosef coming through. Johns again. We spoke too soon, I fear. No, we didn't. Good tackle there from Guy Coombe. On Smith, but its ball is out there. Number 5, John Hopoate. The speed of the play the wall, the speed of the movement across the field. South Africa could have relaxed against the normal side. Once Jason Smith had gone down, there would have been time to get back, but not against a side like Australia. They come at you time and time again. The speed, the pace of the play the ball. Down he goes. He's up quickly, and they're away, Steve.
Aaron Raper spotted it. Soon Andrew Johns coming onto the ball at pace, and Hopoate unmarked out wide to score an easy try.
We see here the good distribution skills of Raper, having a good game at in half-back. Kossoff again, moved on to it. Andrew Johns just looking to convert that third try of Hopoate. A hat-trick. But certainly these Kangaroos are giving him the kicks all out on the touchline, but it doesn't seem to make any difference at all. It's straight between the posts. No problems at all. 58 points to 0.
Good play here, Aaron Raper. He spots their short out wide. Sees Andrew Johns running onto the ball. Andrew Johns may have been able to score himself, but thought, John Hopoate's got no one in front. I'll give it to him and he'll get over the whitewash.
And I think we should just reflect on Aaron Raper, the copybook style, the ball in both hands, held a yard or two in front of the body. Could be passed either way, couldn't it?
Plus the quick thinking of him.
And Australia now going for more, using all they're queuing up on the outside here. Well, McGregor should have passed it really, and there is Raper, a chip off the old block. Billy Moore, well held there by Eugene Powell, and the blood bin. A rare slip. Looks like Gideon Watts having attention in the blood bin. South Africa using this blind side very, very well, and against a less resilient defence, I think could have gone through.
They could have done. That foray a few times from loose forward has come out of the scrum and has looked quite dangerous.
South Africa then, still on the attack, bringing the game back. Using this near side, Van Deventer again, nice sweep. Oh, he just couldn't take the ball. Oh, the crowd were hoping that Baron Alkema could have gone through there, but it did go forward. But it was a nicely worked move here. You see Bossoff, the ball back, but Ballard just can't take it. It's that final pass, Steve, isn't it, in the sort of the final execution of the move.
It was in the hole. If he had caught the ball, I'm sure that he would have scored a try.
Jaco van Niekerk, number 17, straight into the action. So South Africa with substitutions. Johns again. Oh, and it's that. And McGregor striding through. Straight past. He's got support with him. Jim Dimmock going all the way. Johnson again there, but it's a try. The sheer power and pace in the centres of those two men, Paul McGregor and Danny Moore. The finishing there of Jim Dimmock. These Tongans love their rugby. 62-0 for Australia.
You see here, good passing again. Andrew Johns, a long ball out to Danny Moore. He sees the hole, straight through it. Now he runs away from Hopoate out here on his left-hand side, steps off his left, goes in, sees Jimmy Dimmock backing up. He's always backing up Jimmy Dimmock, one of the most skillful players in Australian Rugby League, and puts the ball down.
And here we see the size and the power of this man, Moore. But it's support play that counts, and that's where Australia are supreme. Sydney Bulldogs loose forward. Kangaroos, Jim Dimmock.
You know, as Mark Johnson chased all the way from his wing, kept going over there and still was making the tackle on Jimmy Dimmock as he was scoring the try.
Johns looking for a 10th goal. South Africa in a huddle behind the post, obviously trying to encourage each other. Well, the crowd gasp in surprise as the usually reliable Johns misses there, but nevertheless, I don't think coach Bobby Fulton will be too concerned. 62-0. A stroll for the Kangaroos, and it's that man in the centre who's doing the strolling. Moore beats a couple of men, and Dimmock onto the pass, and just look also, another man out there, Brett Dallas. And good support from Guy Coombe coming across for South Africa. Half an hour of the match remaining, and South Africa really on the rack now as the green and gold jerseys of Australia come out of defence. Dallas swings it across to Andrew Johns. Johns to Matthew Johns.
Go on, leave him there, lad. Go on, leave him. Right, Billy.
Andrew Johns again. Moore back to Hopoate. Jaco Boyson's going in there. No love lost between the powerful South African skipper. He plays it hard, but a little bit too hard there. I think some frustration creeping in now on the Rhinos' part.
There is. They know they're getting beat easy here, and there's no move. He pushes down hard. Now Hopoate's tackled there. He should be just getting off him and letting him play the ball.
And yet it's Australia who conceded the penalty, Steve.
Yeah, early they were offside a fair bit in the first half and conceded some penalties there.
South Africa then under pressure, close to this line. Raper having a go himself. Just short. Andrew Johns, Matthew Johns, every time the two of them, oh, the ball's out. There's Oak Davis again. Beautiful timing of the pass. Speed and anticipation from that Newcastle Knights fullback. But the men doing the damage again, the two brothers. Matthew Johns and Andrew Johns. 66-0 for South Africa. I'm sure these two brothers had bunk beds when they were kids, because everywhere one goes, the other one is there. 7 and 6. Oh, Davis shoots in. And another score. Perfect timing, Steve. Wonderful execution.
It's great play. Matthew Johns here shows the ball 3 times. You only got to run into the hole. If you run into the hole, I'll give you the ball, he says, and puts Robbie O'Davis over, his teammate from Newcastle, and Robbie O'Davis scores another try.
Kicking practice for Johns. And he's missed that one. Well, the crowd are giving him the bird at the moment in a friendly manner. but certainly Australia not showing any friendship to South Africa. 66 points to 0, and this is how the tries are coming. The passing in midfield, and then the timing of the run on the ball. Straight through the gap at pace, and no one can stop O'Davis. Pierre van Wyk, just look at the forwards there, the black eye. They've taken a few knocks, not only physically, but no doubt to their pride. But I think they can still hold their heads high, Steve.
They can. They've done okay out there tonight. You got to put in context where they are playing against some of the best rugby league players in the world.
Well, it's the apprentice and the master.
It is.
But still working hard, still tackling in midfield. Billy Moore taking some putting down, but this boy Alkema is moving around the field well.
I've seen him twice now, and in both games he's had a really good game.
Draper. Oh, well, it looked to knock on, but Mr. Smith says no. Back inside to Johns again, flicks the ball behind him. And who was there? Brother Matthew. Well taken by the big loose forward, Tim Fury, of the City Scorpions club.
There's a high kick here. Now, Russell Smith said that they're all offside and has given the penalty to South Africa, but he showed some courage there for to take that ball out. Plenty of defenders coming down on him.
And that's a good kick, a superb effort there from Pierre van Wyk. Put Robbie O'Davis going back, good strong kick. Gideon Watts back on from the blood bin. Jaco Boysons. Wouldn't it be nice if the South African skipper could just grab a try there? South Africa on the pressure. Looked like a high tackle. It is. A high tackle there on Gerald Williams.
Have a look here. Adam Muir is the one there. He gives it a little bit too high. Swinging arm. Yeah, that was a high tackle.
Yeah, that certainly was a swinging arm, and he certainly deserves a ticking off.
Yeah, you can't see it from that angle, but it's definitely a high tackle.
And South Africa looking to go for their first try as Gerald Williams recovers. The tap penalty. But Australia's defence is usually sound around the just look how close the difference there on the Australian line, how close the defenders are to the acting half-back position. 2 or 3 either side, no way through. South Africa have to push it wide. Oh, he was almost over. It's going. Oh yes, he's over at the corner. Gideon Watts. Well, he has a black eye, he has a cut head, but there's one thing, he has a try. Gideon Watts, the first try of the tournament for South Africa, and the fans are delighted by that. They've given them support all night, and at last a try on the scoreboard. And it took determination, Steve.
Did you see Kluter there? He's the one that done the damage. He went from dummy half. He looked like he was going to score. And then Gideon Watts, he just pulled the ball out of his arms, turns around the post. And you can't see that angle, but he's sure he must have got the ball down because Russell Smith was right in the spot. That's great for South Africa.
Certainly, whatever the class of the Australians or any other team in this 10-nation World Cup. There's the goal. There's certainly no bigger hearts than these South Africans, and that man there, Gideon Watts, he's given everything.
You're seeing another angle here. Now this is Kluter. Now Watts will come and just take the ball out of his hands here, runs up to him, pulls the ball out. Now he's going to come around this side of the post now. Slide around. Keeps coming. Yeah, definitely. Fair try. Got the ball down over the line.
And I think that try has stung Australia a little bit.
Well, it certainly gives South Africa a lift. And the crowd loved it.
South Africa again, trying to move it. There certainly is the raw talent to work on with these South African forwards, Steve. They're very big lads, aren't they? They're very willing lads, and they will take the ball up.
Yeah, they certainly don't take a backward step, and give them another year, 2 years in this game, and they're going to be some good players here.
And that's good tackling. Good chase there by the South African centre and full-back, Andrew Ballot and Van Wyk. And in again the Rod Wishart looking intently on this. I think one or two of those lads who played at Wembley will be wondering, will we be playing in the semi-final? The two Johns again, trying to launch Jason Smith. That's a good kick. Excellent kick. Pinpoint accuracy from Andrew Johns.
You see here, Andrew Johns, plenty of time, has a look, sees that he wants to kick deep, put it into the corners, ball floats down, bounces about 2 yards from touch and goes over touch. Great kick.
All the scrums gone according to plan. And there's South Africa again with that little move at the base of the scrum. Tim Fourie bringing it up, and a penalty against Australia for holding down. 20 minutes remaining. Australia 66, South Africa 6. Boysons. Excellent tackle there by Carroll. Gideon Watts again. Never shirk a run to these two prop forwards, Watts or Boysons. Little dummy from Kluter. Certainly better half-back play from the South Africans tonight.
Yeah, they've gone good. Both Van de Venter and Alkema, they've both had fine games.
Andrew Ballot plays over in New Zealand in the Bay of Plenty side. Oh, stopped the ball coming out, knocked on. A little word there between the two. We can see here. Well, did a hand just flick through there? I think it did, Steve.
I think it did, and there was a touch judge that told Russell that he lost the ball.
Well, I think the Kangaroo forward fooled Mr. Smith there. Oh, good push by the Rhinos.
They actually done that against Fiji and won a ball against the head.
They did. In fact, you don't see too many scrums pushing these days. They tend to go there and lean down.
Well, I think they're just expecting that if they haven't got the food, they're not going to win it.
And look at the difference there. What an improvement, Steve.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and you can tell they're keen. They've scored a try. It's lifted them that little bit.
Certainly has. And Nico Serpentine, who plays his rugby in England down with the Hemel Hempstead amateur club down there in the south of England, coming on at second row for Eugene Powell. And I think a good substitution, Steve. I mean, as many fresh men that South Africa can put on the field, the better.
They do. They need them now. They had a tough game 2 days ago, and they're out here again today, so they need fresh legs.
I've seen this lad play centre as an amateur, so he's got a fair turn of pace. Gideon Watts driving in. The try scorer. Pressuring Australia in this half. This is a good half from these big, powerful forwards. They're certainly pitching into the Kangaroos. No lack of effort. Again, the halves moving it out. picked up by Ballot. Little chip kick through. Smith. And that'll be a high tackle against Serpentine. It is.
Gerald Williams hit the ball up hard before. He certainly had a good game, Williams. He's been non-stop all day and has caused the Australian defence a few problems.
And that just bears out how well off South Africa have played.
Yeah, exactly right.
Moore. Watts in again there. He's had a tremendous 80 minutes as that prop forward. He's bandaged, he's probably tired, but he's not stopped going. There he is again in the tackle, forcing them back, helping Van Wyk out. My man of the match for South Africa, without a doubt. Those long passes again to the Johns. The tackle from Ballot. But still, the Kangaroos piling on the pressure. Andrew Johns, 2 side steps. Not the third. Oh, the simplest of tries for Jason Smith. I don't think anyone could believe it. No wonder he comes up grinning. Mr. Smith even checked with the touch judge as to what was going on. But it's a try. It's another 4 points to Australia, and it takes them to 70 points to 6.
They're tied, South Africa. They get up quick to play. They've still got players on the ground, and they weren't aware that their dummy half, Jason Smith, was just going to dive over there.
And once again, the gaps are there. There are not 2 men markers either.
They're tied, the South Africans.
Johns again. 9 goals. No wind, the light breeze which we had at kick-off, gone now. Still night. But he skewed that to the left. Just less than 15 minutes remaining for South Africa to hold in here, to grit their teeth and to, well, stop 1 or 2 tries, I think.
It's a brave effort, Ray. This game is a tough game, and these Australians are super fit. They're good athletes, and to come up against the Fijians on the Sunday, and then have to back up 2 days later on a Tuesday against the Australians, the South Africans, you know, they're out there and they're giving it all, and they'll be hurting, they'll be sore, but they're still doing it.
Jim Dimmock. Oh, and it's Australia moving it out wide again. Jason Smith.
Move away, come on.
Robbie O'Davis coming in, trying to inject that sudden burst of pace in the middle. Dimmock. South Africa still tackling, still moving up, but Australia still in possession and burning down on them. Andrew Johns again, oh, well picked up by brother Matthew. That was a knock-on. McGregor just couldn't hold it, and it looks like Mark Carroll having some serious attention to get another head wound. Well, South Africa improved on the handling errors, Steve, and I mean, this is evident because in the second half they've more than held their own.
They have.
Matthew Johns looking to go through, but that was a good tackle. Using that blind side, sensing that the South African defenders there are having a rest on the blind side. Often quite common if you want a little rest. Nip to the blind side and hope nobody comes down it. Oh, that's a good pass. But that's an equally good tackle by Jaco Boysens, the prop forward. He did well to get out wide there.
Akumbe, the winger, he's also got through a lot of defence.
In fact, South Africa use the wings very, very well in defence, Steve. They do a lot of crisscrossing.
They do.
Good slip inside to Jim Dimmock. Managed to get the ball out. That's a good pass. Out to Muir. South Africa holding in this sequence of 6. Play the ball, knock on the 6th tackle. The knock on, the ball handed over to the opposition. Well, it should be handed over, Steve. There is Rob Andrews sporting that cut himself from the Wasps game last weekend. I don't think he'll be fit for a while.
He's got to be fit. It's only a cut over the eye.
Boy. Right away. Come on, 12.
Gideon Watts shown tremendous appetite. Boysons, and certainly the South Africans look to have moved up a gear in fitness in this match.
They have. They've not stopped trying, and Boyson, he's the captain out there, and he's leading by example.
Boshoff from the Northern Transvaal, and there is Jaco Boysons. Tackles made by South Africa, but that's a high number, 79 from Australia. They've put pressure on them.
Yeah.
He's missed it. Surely the first knock on, no.
Another high kick here. Robbie O'Davis comes in, but he can't. The South Africans just knocked it back there, and they knocked the ball on. It'll be a scrum with Australia feed.
10 minutes remaining then. South Africa, just the one try and goal. The try from Gideon Watts and the goal from Pierre van Wyk. South Africa moving into the defence, but they need to move in very, very quickly because there is Johns. Oh, and it's back to McGregor. McGregor racing in style, but just lucky was there with him. It's a try for Andrew Johns, but the man who almost stopped McGregor was that South African prop forward, Gideon Watts. Excellent run, excellent play from the Kangaroos, splitting South Africa wide open down that left flank. But still defenders there or thereabouts, Steve.
This is great play here. Jimmy Dimmick, the short ball for Andrew Johns. Now look at the way he bends his body right around to find Danny Moore inside. Danny Moore probably could have scored, but Watts, what a great effort from Watts to chase the centre. And Andrew Johns backing up. But what about Watts? I mean, there's a centre, he's a big front rower, and he was running him down.
He certainly was. Lots of heart, lots of courage, but it's the skill difference that's counting. 26 points from Andrew Johns, looking for 28. He finds them. What a night for this youngster. And another 8.5 minutes in which he could possibly claim some more.
You'll have a look here. Danny Moore, big, strong, powerful centre, a lot of pace. And there's Watts, he makes a tackle on him. Andrew Johns backing up to score a few more points.
A prolific point scorer down under, Andrew Johns. Just 2 seasons in first grade. There's a man with a few seasons, Tim Brasher, substitute. Scored a record 23 points on his debut for Newcastle. There he is again, outstanding performance.
Jason Smith was looking to do with the ball, something with the ball before he got it there.
Cobus van Deventer from the Northern Transvaal, again linking up with his loose forward, trying to bring these Australians into the middle. Serpentine. Switch of play. Boysons. I don't think Jaco was expecting that ball there then. Fury, just 7 minutes remaining. It'll be a long, hard 7 minutes, I would think, for South Africa. Good, on the attack. The high kick from Alkema. Oh, it was almost plucked out of nowhere. Not quite. Picked up by Robbie O'Davis. And Dallas sensing a gap out wide on the outside. And talking of gaps out wide, here's a pole. Well, there was a possibility, but I'm afraid poor Danny Moore's pass directly into touch.
A couple of times they've done that tonight. There doesn't seem to be much understanding between Moore and Hopoate out wide.
Van Deventer going himself. Serfontein, but at least South Africa maintaining the pressure, taking the game back to the Kangaroos. Certainly not lying down. This is a very brave effort. This is a good effort. It's South Africa again, driving towards the line. Van Deventer. 8 metres from the line, on the 5th tackle. That long pass out there to Alkema. There's a chance out wide here. The big, strong boss off, but well held by Dallas.
It was good vision from Alkema. Then Australia were bunched at all their players on their left-hand side. He seen that Australia was short, and they took their chance on the last tackle instead of kicking it.
Yeah, she took it back again. You said it every time.
In touch. The scrums just taking a little time to settle down. Jason Smith coming off. Possibly a little trouble with that knee. Oh, he almost dropped that, didn't he? And hooker Wayne Bartram, the St George lad who played at Wembley on Saturday, having a few minutes run out. The scrum wheeling around. Russell Smith from Castleford, not very happy with that. He certainly had some running to do tonight. Well, you're not allowed to push until the ball comes in, but Andrew Johns, the man of the match, he'll not be too bothered at this stage. He gratefully accepts the kick. Adam Muir. And again, Steve, one of those loose passes out wide. There has really been a lack of understanding down the flanks.
There has. They're just not talking out wide.
But certainly no lack of understanding before. That was a beautiful pass from Johns. Flicked inside by O'Day. Oh, and picked out of nowhere by Moore. That was fingertip passing. How dare we criticise this Australian side, Steve, when they can flick ball and passes out like that. Wonderful effort. 80 points to 6.
We'll have a look. Good quick hands here. You'll see the one from Andrew Johns. Look at that. How quick was that? Robbie O'Davis is out wide. He passes back inside, finds the long outstretched arms of Danny Moore. He's 6'4" or something, and he could reach that high ball and scores under the post.
Yes. And that score taking Australia way past their previous best, and there is the goal from Andrew Johns. That equals the highest ever Test figure, 30 points from Michael O'Connor, and that 80 points is a world record. Previous Australia 74, France 0. And Andrew Johns equals the world record of 11 goals. That record held by Rod Wishart against France. And there is the try that enabled Johns to equal that record. Held by Rod Wishart against France in '94. And from a long time ago, Des White of New Zealand against Australia in 1952. So, records galore, records going down. Still some way from the Kangaroos' record scored in Britain, however, yet 92 against Bramley in 1921-22. Oh, the Kangaroos running rampant here, and here is number 14 driving in, superb effort, Tim Brasher all the way. Well, he's had a good rest on that substitutes bench. Put clear down the outside. 86 points to 6 now, and the points are just coming now. Good break in midfield. Brasher's outside him, and there's no catching this lad. He's used to doing this from that full-back position. South Africa really struggling now. Haven't got the legs. This man, he's fresh. He's sat on the bench for virtually all the night. He's enjoyed that. And this world record test score mounts up higher and higher. Johns, can he break the points record? 1 or 2 needed. No! 1 or 2 still needed. Still equalled with Michael O'Connor, the former Wallaby and Test Kangaroo wingman. Into injury time now, and I'm sure the South Africans can't wait to see that hooter go quickly enough. There we see the try, length of the field. Obviously, Australia will have far, far bigger tests to come. They have to play Fiji on Saturday. There is the hooter, but acknowledgements from these South Africans. They know they've been in a contest, the likes of which they've never been in before, and probably will not be in for a long, long time. Wayne Bartram delighted to get him out, but that's the man of the night. Andrew Johns, the record in his grasp, equalled it. Most points in a match, 30 points. And a record score for Australia, 16 tries and 11 goals. Australia will have bigger tests to come, but 1 or 2 of these players have certainly staked a claim for the bigger matches to come. Robbie O'Davis at full-back. None worked harder there than Jaco Boysons. Still a smile on his face. He'll have learned a lot tonight. They can take a lot of experience back home with them to South Africa. Mark Carroll exchanging jerseys with the South Africans. 1 or 2 of those, I'm sure, will adorn the walls in South Africa. They've given their all. A big test for them. And Australia, I think, wanted to come out and show something after that defeat against England at Wembley on Saturday. And we have Steve Sims down there at the pitch side.
Andrew, great game tonight. How'd you enjoy it out there?
Yeah, it was my first test, and all through the day I was a bit nervous and apprehensive, but you know, it's good. You know, playing alongside my brother helped me out a lot, and you know, to South Africa's credit, they're a building, you know, football nation, and you know, they never gave all night, so it's a credit to them. And there's no reason why they can't be a competitive team in 5 or 6 years.
It must be great to be playing with your brother out there, both of you on a tour, World Cup game for the Australian Rugby League. But the thing is, you work well together, and that seemed to show today, your long passes and the swift ball movement out there.
Yeah, you know, I'm pretty lucky at Newcastle play alongside of him, and you know, we complement each other at games. if I run, he knows when when I'm going to offload or when I'm going to step. So, and it's just someone playing. I don't know. It's just like Stuart and Daly. Really, they've played together that long, like me and Matthew have, and you just get combinations, together, and you just feel comfortable alongside of them.
Matthew, did you know that last goal you missed, if you kicked it, you would have broke Michael O'Connor's record? You actually equalled it on the night.
All right, Chief was telling me all tonight that how I was going, but they're just little bonuses. It's not something you aspire to do, and he's a great player, Michael O'Connor, and just honoured to be alongside of him.
One last thing, Andrew, they tell me you're captain after Paul went off, and that's another great honour for you. Yeah,
it's a bit of a surprise actually. I never captained a side, and Bazza came up through the week and said I was vice captain. Chief was a bit of doubt through the week, but I haven't really done it, so I don't really know what to do out there. So, but I'll take it.
Thanks, Andrew, and all the best for the rest of the series.
Well, one man there obviously delighted with that record-equalling defeat, and I think he's got another bonus to come. I think he's certainly made the Kangaroo coach, Bobby Fulton, think what he's going to do for the next big match. It wouldn't surprise me if he played on Saturday against Fiji.
Yakko, it was very difficult out there for all your boys tonight.
Yes, definitely. It was a hard game, but we've enjoyed it.
Yakko, I watched you also play against Fiji the other day. You're a player that just kept taking it up to both teams, especially the Australians tonight. You never stopped, and I know you haven't played a lot of rugby league, but you must have got a lot from the experience tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely Fiji and Australia. We've learned a lot, but that's the heart of South Africa. We keep on going. That's all.
You never give up in attack or defence, and as I say, it can only get better for South Africa as you go on. If you keep improving like that, you'll be up there sooner or later.
Yes, definitely. We will be up there soon, within 2 years, with the big guys, and then we can talk with them.
We've got one game to go. You still have to play England. Hopefully you haven't got too many injuries, and you can also show the public, which you've shown in the last couple of games, that you're here to do a job for your country.
That's it. We're here to do a job and to play the game and to learn from the other countries.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Certainly a good effort there from Jaco Boysons. As we can see there, the minutes in possession, 27 to Australia, South Africa 21. That is extremely creditable when one bears in mind the pressure in that first half that they were under. 112 tackles, but let's not discount the 91 tackles there made by Australia. The South African forwards, especially Jaco Boyson, put pressure on, but it wasn't enough. 86 points to 6, a world record for the Kangaroos. Rob, an enjoyable game. Have you been doing some coaching with Andrew Johns?
I don't think so. If he'd watched me on Saturday, then he wouldn't have taken any notice. No, he kicked fantastically well, didn't he?
Anything to take back to Jack Rowell from there?
I think it's interesting. You know, there's a lot of watching of rugby league coaching and techniques. I think rugby league in fitness terms is certainly way ahead of rugby union. We're catching up, and there's a lot of techniques that we can learn from league.
And certainly some of the world's greatest players there. Anyone in particular who impressed you?
Yeah, I'm very impressed with the Australians. Clearly, they've left a lot of players at home, but the pace and the power is the difference. And the South Africans are just learning the rugby league game. But there's certainly a lot of things there that rugby union can learn from.
Such as?
Well, I think just the general level of fitness and the pace and the power. We've seen it when people like Jonathan Davis and Twigamala have gone from union to league, and they've actually become better and stronger players, mainly because of the professionalism, and that's one thing that rugby union is having to come to terms with.
Now you are the player coach, manager, bottle washer at the new Newcastle club. Was there a hint there that more than an interested spectator, we hear of players moving from one code to another? Is the chequebook out?
No, I think it's still in my pocket somewhere. There's been a lot of speculation. There's a lot of changes happening in a very, very short space of time, and I'm not sure that rugby union can sort of take it all in and keep up just at the moment. The rugby league players have been welcomed back in some countries. Other countries are not quite sure what to do with them, and I think there's still a settling down period at the moment.
But certainly good to see the two codes respecting each other.
I think they should. I think we've got a lot to learn from each other, and who knows what the future holds. I think whatever happens, it holds good things for both codes and for rugby in general.
And looking at that cut across your eye, are you likely to be playing again shortly?
I think so. I hope to be playing again on Saturday. It looks worse than it actually is.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.